Hey, what's going on out there? I'm your host today, Jermaine Wright, and welcome to Building Blocks, where today we're going to be diving deep into a topic that affects us all in one way or another, and that topic is trauma. But what exactly is trauma? Well, trauma is not as always as clear cut as we may think. In essence, trauma can be described as our mind's way of trying to make sense of something that happened to us or even someone close to us. Often people are unaware of how trauma has silently shaped their lives because they may not associate their experiences with being traumatic in nature. So, in many cases, this happens because in our lives, we have a tendency to associate trauma, with extreme circumstances that result in classic post traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. We think of traumatic events as being those moments like witnessing a death or surviving a near fatal accident or experiencing physical assault as being traumatic. But the truth is, trauma can manifest in various forms. Trauma isn't limited to life or death situations. It can stem from the death of a loved one, the end of a significant relationship, losing a job, or even from not having a space where you felt comfortable enough to be your authentic self. These experiences, although not as extreme, can still leave deep emotional scars. So, what many of us may not realize is, that when it's not classic PTSD symptoms, I kind of call it, PTSD's cousin, unspecified trauma disorder. It's that trauma doesn't fit neatly into the classic PTSD box, but still affects us significantly. So how do we identify our traumas when we're not looking for classic PTSD symptoms? I think that the key is recognizing that trauma isn't just about the event itself, but about how it impacts our ability to function, thrive, and be the best versions of ourselves. One defining characteristic of trauma is that it often causes a disproportional emotional response to a regular situation. It interferes with your ability to regulate your emotions and process your genuine feelings. So it's quintessentially, when you're having a traumatic episode, it's your mind's way of trying to make sense. It's your mind's way of trying to process something that happened to you. So if nothing else, I want you all to just, try to remember that, if you or someone that you love, is being impacted and, it has been suffering from trauma, remember that you are not defined by your trauma. Your trauma is simply what you experience. It's your mind's way of trying to make sense of something that happened to you. So, hopefully today this fosters your ability to begin the journey to understanding and the journey from healing, and be kind and be patient for yourself with yourself one moment at a time, as you're on that journey to understanding and healing. And my hope for today's discussion is that you gain a better understanding of how trauma may be impacting your life or someone that you love, and hopefully it provides you with some insight into what are some good ways to deal with it, to start the process of healing and foster growth. So remember, you're not alone in this journey, and there's help out there, as we identify what trauma is and we come up with effective and, and person-centered ways to work through those traumatic experiences is how we grow and we build into becoming the best versions of ourselves. So I'm Jermaine Wright. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And I want to thank you all for joining me in today's discussion. Take care, be well, and let's continue to build into becoming the best versions of ourselves.